It was a Wednesday afternoon, Zach.
Right.
We're just doing our thing, and then Damian Lillard and I believe his wife just walk up and they start ordering. I saw on Twitter there was like a RB exclusive party thing at their mansion that they Airbnb'd. But I made it there. I walked in and I walk up to the gate, and it's a gate, and I go, "Hey, what's good?" And then they go, "Oh, you did the edit for us like 3 years ago," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And come on in. I'm like, "Oh shit." How the hell do you know that? Why do you remember that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Uneducation Station podcast. Of course, my name is Zach, and I am here with my hostess with the mostest, Arthur.
Arthur, here, present.
You were just waiting for me to say Arthur, weren't you?
I was waiting for it. Because you always say it the same way. Also, you flipped to my camera even before you even said to me, so I was like, "Oh shit."
Oh shit.
I wasn't ready for it.
You're like, "Hey."
It feels nice to record again. This is the first time we've recorded twice in a week in a while, so it feels nice.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because my schedule's gotten super chaotic. You know that. And so it's nice to kind of have something at least somewhat consistent.
Yeah.
Again.
It's hard to do the 2 days though, especially the schedule has been conflicting. I'm able to negotiate one weekend off at work, but the rest is like, it's tough because everybody's asking for days off. I'm like, whatever. So that's why it's tough. But it's how it goes as a part-time job worker. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're recording in the morning these days, and although it's been tough, it's been helpful. So you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely helps, especially when you're doing like a closing shift at work. Like we've been able to squeeze in a couple of shoots before you go to work.
Yeah, it works out. As long as it's not like you're gonna come for like 12 and then till close. I'm like, oh fuck we did.
You're like, "Zach, we need to film at like 9:30. and here's the thing though, is that like if we end up having to do that, I would be here.
I know, but I don't know if I would be here, Zach. I mean, I would be here, but I don't know if I would be here, if you know what I mean. You might have to roll the show and I'll be like, "Yep." All right, Zach.
I mean, we've had a couple shoots like that where you were up until 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then
I have been waking up because of this, doing these morning shoots. I have been waking up these in like 10, 11-ish these days. So
good.
Not bad. That being said, I still would go to bed at like 4 a.m. But when you think about it, that's like 6-ish hours of sleep still. If I go to bed at 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And then I take a nap in the midday these days. So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ideal necessarily, but it's not bad. A lot better than before, so
yeah. I mean, running on a short amount of sleep and then a nap is way better than running on just like absolutely no sleep and pulling all-nighters. Like I remember the days of all-nighter Anuki.
Yeah, those were not pretty days, but those were days a young Anuki could do, Zach. Those were days a young Zach could do. These days, it cannot happen. No. No, sir, it cannot.
Dude, the only reason why I would ever pull an all-nighter at this point is if I'm traveling. Because I cannot stand being on a plane most of the time. And so if I'm doing plane travel things, then I'm just going to stay up all night and then sleep on the plane.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on a plane. I don't travel very often, but you go to Vegas a lot and such, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, my experience with the plane has been simple. I mean, I've never been afraid of it necessarily. Well, not that I'm saying you are afraid, but just in general, I'm not afraid of the plane or anything like that. Turbulence is a little freaky sometimes, but it's all good. It's just what it is. Let's see. I've only ever gone on the plane maybe like 3 times in my life to go to California for the 3 times in my life. Damn. Or 4 times rather. Yeah, I don't go very often, but I mean, it's fine. I can sleep if I want to. So far I haven't really slept. I've just kind of just watched movies or read my mangoes and such, I know.
And now you can play your Switch.
I can play my Switch, but I think I'd rather catch up on the mangoes, I know when I went to Anaheim 2019, God bless, I started Tokyo Ghoul. That was an adventure.
Yeah.
It's very good. I've said it before. Very fucking fantastic. Totally down your aisle. Totally down your lane. But I haven't been able to finish it since then. And I'm at the point where it's been about 2 years since I've read it. So I would have to restart if I really want to get anywhere. I mean, I guess I could read kind of like maybe the arc that I was in already. But it's like, man, I'm not going to be in the same mindset because that shit was making me feel some type of way, Zach. Oh my God. So, but it's okay. Those are good times. I do miss traveling on the plane though. Man, Last time I went was whenever I went to Anaheim for by myself for just a couple days. Only 2 days though, which kind of sucked. Because that time it was Father's Day weekend, and my family does some Father's Day things that are important, so I wanted to be here. So it just didn't work out, didn't really align. But I was able to go hang out with my gamer friends, my buddies at Red, say hi to them and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Went to a couple parties, got invited to a mansion. That was interesting. Didn't think that would happen, but that was fun. Good times. Shout out to RB. Shout out to the RB mansion. Y'all are fantastic. Have I ever mentioned the story of me going to Anaheim in the podcast?
I know that you and I have talked about it, but I don't know if we...
I mean, it's not that extravagant. It's literally 2 days. I went there. What is 2019? Young Anuki on the scene.
Yeah.
Just Red ended. No, but I just wanted to say hi to everybody because Anaheim was like the thing, the COD event to go to every year. Nowadays, I don't think it's going to happen anymore, unfortunately. I mean, competitive COD still exists, but I don't think Anaheim is going to be the thing anymore. But it's hard to say with, the cabbage going around. Hopefully it gets better, but that might turn just into like TwitchCon or something, maybe perhaps, which in general would be probably just a better event to go to anyways. And I even considered going to it as well. But we went to Anaheim, or I went to Anaheim by myself with my parents, but they just kind of did their own thing. They just wanted to be there so they can show me how to travel on my own.
Yeah.
So that was just that. But in general, I just did my own thing and they did their own thing. So we went there and it was really cool. Very interesting to just be in a convention and see a bunch of YouTubers that I watch just be there. And a bunch of people in the community that I look up to and know, but only on Twitter, just be there. And it's a very surreal feeling, Zach.
Yeah.
It's funny because I went there, right? And I've never been referred to as Anuki in real life. I remember the very first thing, like hey, we're talking, and then it was totally like the end game, the Infinity War. Oh, we're using our made up names. I'm Spider-Man. It was literally that.
Yeah.
I didn't even do it. Like at first, I was just referring to myself as Arthur because I just I couldn't say, oh, I'm Anuki. That didn't make any sense in real life. In a Discord call, in a whatever call on Twitter, yeah, I'm Anuki. It's fine. I even say it. I say it in my streams, in my videos. It's fine. But in real life, I was like, hey, I'm so and so. Oh, hey, I'm Arthur. Shit.
I never was able to figure that out. And also
because you're just Zach.
Yeah.
Peanut, I suppose. You were Peanut a while ago, Zach.
For a very long time.
But have you ever said, hey, I'm Peanut. Hey guys, what's good? Peanut here. Back at it.
I mean,
on the scene.
In the Call of Duty commentary. I mean, I think the only time I ever referred to myself as Peanut was during the first speed run.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The Minecraft speed runs that we did with a bunch of the goons on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. But anyways, yeah, referring to yourself as your gamer tag or
gamer. I haven't heard that word in so long. Gamer tag. Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Referring to yourself as your Twitch username or your Twitter handle or whatever.
Yeah.
That just seems so bizarre. Just because I don't know, the way that I think about it is yes, I'm going to refer to myself as the made up name that I came up with that now I'm just kind of stuck with.
Yeah.
It just seems really weird.
I still didn't even get over it. I still just kept saying Arthur. It was literally until that night where I've kind of, okay, I'm Anuki. I'm Anuki. I am Anuki. Hello, my name is Anuki. I live and breathe Anuki. But that was when I went to just other parties and I had to keep introducing myself and I kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
So that was fun. What happened in the convention? I paid for the thing and then I went inside the convention for the actual event once and then I never went in again. It was funny. Cool though. It's very cool. You go in and it's very there's LAN party set up and in one corner, in the other corners there's events for Gamma and for G Fuel and for Scuff and and then the other there's a main event. The competitive scene with all the teams and stuff. And it's really weird because there was a point in time where I was watching competitive Call of Duty. So it was very weird to just be here. it didn't really feel real. Like, I don't know, for some reason, like if I go to like a concert for celebrities, that like I'm there for the concert for celebrities and stuff, you know, and it has that atmosphere. When I go to this convention, I'm like, we're all kind of the same people. Like, you know, we all kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
And even though I watched some of the competitive stuff and I watched like YouTubers and stuff that I see walking around, it doesn't really like, it's kind of like, I don't know. We're just kind of here and doing the same thing, and we're all kind of here, and it is very cool. Obviously, like I saw a bunch of the Face guys, and they had their own party, and I was like, whoa, look, it's them, you know.
Yeah.
It's Phase Tommy Temper, that's the guy. He did the temper shot. Zach, that's him. He's just chilling there. That's cool, you know. It's super surreal to just be in there, but surreal in the sense that it felt like super normal though, still for some reason.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I talk with every one of these guys, you know? I talk with all the people on Twitter and stuff, and although I was meeting them for the first time in real life, of course. I mean, we're just talking and having a time. Although I know, shout out to Rec, I was hanging out with him, and then he brought me into his current team, which was Dare, and I didn't know anybody in Dare, and I was like, oh shit, hey guys, what's good? I'm here. Hello. But
I am Nuki Man.
I am Nuki Man. I'm here. But my main group that I went with was with my buddy Spree, Tragedy. Oh gosh, who else was there? Dots and Hotman. Shout out to y'all. Y'all were kings. I did ditch you guys at the very end of the night though to kind of hang out with my red friends. I apologize, but you guys kept me company until then. So shout out to y'all. But it was fun. And then let's see. I saw on Twitter there was like a RB, this team, they were doing like some sort of exclusive party thing at their mansion that they Airbnb'd. And then I was hitting up my other editor friend, Philly, shout out to Philly. And then he was like, you doing anything? And I'm like, nah, you got any parties or anything? Or you got the ad? He's like, yeah, I got one. He hits me up with this. I didn't even know this was it. He just sends me an address. And I'm like, okay, cool. Go in the Uber. Look, this guy was very nice. His driving.
Also, you do have to remember that you are in California.
I am in California, yes. but my other Uber drivers are really cool. This Uber driver, I mean, okay, he was very nice. Yeah, a very nice Arabic man. You know, we were just talking, and we were like talking the whole time, and it was cool. I mean, his English wasn't very great, and he was having a hard time understanding, so I was doing my best to communicate with him. But it was cool, you know. It's just that his driving was a little concerning, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't fearing for my life, but I was definitely like, I don't know if he should have done that. And then, so I'm pretty sure he like bumped his car a couple of times into like rocks and stuff. Like okay, where the mansion that I was going was kind of in like this kind of mountain, this hill area.
Yeah.
Very mansion-esque type of landscape. Like you imagine a manscape on a hill. This is kind of what it is, right? You're going up this estate and like, where am I going?
Yeah.
And it's pitch black dark, by the way. And me and this Uber driver, we're just kind of figuring it out. And we didn't even make it all the way up. We just made it somewhere close because I was like, oh, I see it. I can just walk there, you know? But we're just going up, and then we stop, and we're trying to make sure that we're going in the right place because it definitely doesn't, you know, it's pitch black and we're just going up this miscellaneous hill. And then he's like, oh yeah, we're going in the right place. And he kind of just comes out of where he was back parked, or he's backing up from where he was parked. And I swear to God, he bumped into like the rock walls like 5 times. I'm like, dude, your car.
He's like, no, my friend, we are fine.
Oh, we are fine. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. I mean, I was fine. Like, it wasn't like, it was just more like, don't like they're love taps, right?
Yeah.
But still, if I did that with my car, I'd be pissed, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And it was like a really decently nice car. I mean, I didn't really see what type of car it was, but it was decent. You know, it was maybe like, I don't know, 17, 18. You know, not bad.
Yeah.
And this is 2019, so I'm like, yeah, not bad. You know, it's all good. But I made it there. I walked in, and I walk up to the gate, and it's a gate. And I go, hey, what's good? and like, who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm Anuki. I got that part figured out. I'm Anuki. And then they go, oh, you did the edit for us like 3 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And come on in. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, how the hell do you know that? Why do you remember that? I did a client edit for my boy Slows like 2-3 years ago for their channel, and I'm pretty sure I don't even know if they're even under the same management. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, that was really cool. Very nice of them. And I walked in and I had a time. It was all good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because
you did that one introducing for slows. I'm like, how the hell do you even remember that? It's one of my favorite edits, though. By the way, one of my personal favorite edits. But still, it was a long time ago, and and in the grand scheme of things, a miscellaneous player episode of a team like 3 years ago. How in the world is anybody going to remember that? So I felt flattered.
I mean, obviously, if they remembered, then it would have been something that they would have enjoyed and liked, and the fact that they remembered it a couple years later, like that obviously shows a testament to your ability to edit.
I did good. Young Anuki did good. He did work.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool when you kind of take a second and just have that self-reflection of like, how the hell did I get here? Like,
dude, I should not have been in there. I was like walking around like, how did I get here?
You're like, bro, one of the homies sent me an address. I showed up, told them who I was, and they were like, come on in.
That's like a movie type shit, Zach.
Yeah.
You know the password? Uwu. Yep. All right, come in. He's in.
That is so crazy. Yeah. And I remember when you were first telling me the story, and I remember when you went, because you and I were like, obviously we were homies at the time, and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to California for like an editing thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Did I say for an editing thing? Is that what I told you?
I don't remember. I think it was like you told me that you were going to like a Call of Duty convention, and you were going to go meet up with your editor buddies, and I was like, okay, you go, dude.
Yeah.
And then you were telling me about how you got invited to a party in a fucking mansion, and I was like, oh, what? Huh?
All right.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those moments where I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. I was so out of place. Everybody in there was so stylish and stuff. And there was like super cool people there, like phase people there. And I'm like, dude, I'm wearing my Your Lie in April t-shirt and khaki joggers. I'm kind of cold, not going to lie. I also need to pee. But it was fun, though. It was very fun. That was where I first met all of my red homies too, because they had come from LA, although they were drunk as shit, so we didn't really get to talk very much, but it was fun. Party didn't last very long though, because the homeowner apparently got really mad for something. I cannot remember what the reason was. I don't think we were doing any harm, but we ended up ditching. We didn't stay too long. I ended up ditching, grabbing an Uber with some other friends, and went to a different party. And that was some I think it was a Sora party, so that was fun also. And here's okay. This is when I gained a lot of respect for like this place that I was in, right? I was in this party, even at the RB party, I was like, look at this shit, like this is just a bunch of like gamer nerds, gamer dudes, gamer girls, just kind of figuring it out, going to parties or going to California, setting up parties, and it's this whole community thing that I love, right? And this was the community I grew up in. Well, maybe not grew up in necessarily, but the community that I knew so much about. I was here in the early optic days in 2011, 2010, or maybe just 2000. I cannot remember because it's been that long. MW2, that type of stuff. I was there for it, so it's cool to see like this is kind of where we're at. Yeah, and. Although I would come to find out that this would be the last Anaheim event of all time, ever, which is a little sad, but I'm glad I was part of it, even if it was just a couple of days. But I was at the Sora party, I remember, and we're having a time, just doing our own thing. Everybody was partying and having fun. And my boy Philly, he was walking around, and funny to have the shirt on. This was prime hose mad meme, and we were just hose mad. Hose mad. This is prime time, and we were just all saying it, and it was a great time. And then I went out in the back. It was to get some service on my phone because it was kind of dodgy. And I was just like, I don't know who they were, because I didn't really quite see their faces. Not that I would recognize any faces unless they were, some I knew, or are predominantly showing their face a lot. But there was just this group of guys in the back, and they were like having a team meeting. like with their team or org or whatever it was, and they're like, all right, this year we're gonna get this shit. We're gonna do this and this and that. And I'm like, what? Dude, I'm at a party. People are drinking inside. What the hell is happening?
This does not.
They're playing cup pong inside, and they're having a team briefing right now outside. I'm like, what? This is crazy.
Bro, people are taking shots and playing beer pong. I don't think this is the best place for a professional team meeting.
But it is, though, because that's what everybody here does. And I was like, wow, that's so wild. Because I can imagine, I don't know who they are. Just because maybe I should have said hi to them or whatever, but I just imagine maybe they're like a smaller team.
Yeah.
And they were invited to this SOAR party, and they saw what was happening, and they're like, we want to do this too. And I like to think that, and now I like to think I wonder where they are now.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's going on in my head now. And it's been a long time. It's been 3 years now. So it's like, I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing all right. I wonder what they're doing. And if they're not doing the same thing, I hope they're doing better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that is
very fascinating experience.
Very, very fascinating. You know, the times when like you're in a community like that, and then you just kind of, you don't feel like you belong there, and like you don't feel like anyone's gonna know you, and then someone walks up to you and be like, oh hey, what's up, man? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like how did I get here?
Yeah, I got in there and I got greeted by who was it first? Virix. Shout out Virix. I did edit for them for their team Illuminate a long time ago. So it was cool to see him, and I bet it's funny because I only see it in his face like once or twice, but it's like I don't know, it's weird. Some of them I only see their face once, some of them I've never seen their face. I see hi to them and we're talking, I'm like, oh, it's definitely you. I know it's you. It's very, very fascinating experience, but it was a lot of fun. I wish I can go again. I wish I could meet everybody again. And maybe that just ends up being like TwitchCon or something, because these days everybody just kind of streams and stuff, you know? So I think TwitchCon is kind of like going to be the big one. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get invited to any parties for that one, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fascinating. Like and the idea that someone knows you but you don't know them, it's like that whole idea just feels super fucking strange to me.
I got recognized a couple of times. That was the first time I ever got recognized. I was like, I mean, I knew them, but I never really like talked with them too much. I was like, hey, what's good, Anuki? I'm like, oh hey, what's good? How it do, bro?
How's life?
How's the things, bro? How are you?
Yeah,
it was very
super bizarre,
very bizarre. But I mean, you know, it just reminded me that, yeah, I did good work. You know, I did a good job. And maybe at that point, you know, I was like, all right, we reached the falling action of editor Nuki days. And now here I am, kind of finishing up my last projects. But it was, even though it was only for 2 days, I didn't get to see everybody because some people came on the second day and I had to leave early the second day too. So that was sad, but you know, shout out to Divinity. I wasn't able to see you, but I wish I was able to meet you. You know, shout out to Philly for hooking me up. Shout out to Cal, my big green giant. It was cool. I cannot remember the name because it's been a long time since we talked. I think your name was Connor, because he was like, he was a buddy of my giant friend, and he was like, oh, he fucks with anime. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, what's good, bro? And then we talked about anime for a while. And then yeah, I don't know. I don't know, have too much to say because I was only there for two days, and it's hard to encapsulate how I was feeling, but it was very surreal. Very, thank you, AC unit. Very surreal.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like a convention or anything like that of any sort?
No, not really. I haven't really been in like a community that's like that, I guess.
And I went to like skating things, no? I guess you wouldn't call them a convention necessarily.
Yeah, so they're like, I've gone to a couple competitions and those types of things, like in the local area, like at Battleground or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, no one knows me for my writing,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
And I think the only time I've ever been recognized for anything that I've done is because of my stupid TikToks. Like I had like I was at the skate park, and there was like this 13-year-old kid who was like, "Do you have a TikTok account?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I think I've seen you on TikTok before." And I was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate."
It's my fault.
My bad. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was super weird. And I've had a couple people who were like, "Oh, dude, I've watched like all of your TikToks." And I'm like, "Why would you waste your time doing that? There are so many more productive things that you could do with your life, but go on." And they're like,
that means you made good stuff, Zach. Don't discredit him.
Yeah.
You don't discredit yourself. You did good.
I mean, you
pull more views than me, Zach.
But it's like, it's really annoying because it's the stuff that I put the least amount of effort into that end up like.
Well, it's TikTok. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I just shitpost on there.
That's what TikTok is for. That's what YouTube Shorts is for. These short form stuff that we talked about before.
Yeah,
it's just quick, super quick, not bad, but poor, not production quality type things where you just go and you watch a couple seconds, a minute, 3 minutes now, I think. And you're like, all right, cool. We proceed. Obtain information, absorb, proceed.
Yeah.
And you did that. You did the thing, Zach. You did the thing. You did the proceed. You did the thing of which people obtained and absorbed and proceeded.
Yes. It is really weird to think about the fact that like my face has been seen by like a lot of people. And like the fact that I've been like recognized and it's been interesting too because like I shoot videos for Andy. And I end up being in a lot of his videos and like a lot of the TikToks that he does, and I think he has like 140,000 followers on TikTok or something.
Yeah, he's got a following.
Yeah.
Shout out Andy. We'll have you on the show soon.
I don't know. It's probably less than that, but I don't remember for sure. But like that ends up being a part of it too, because like they'll be like, "Oh, you're Andy's friend, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Where's Andy?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Dude, I'm not attached to the guy. I don't fucking know.
I don't live with him. Like, shit.
Oh, I know Andy. I know where he's all the time. I have a pendant with his semen in it, and I carry it around with me everywhere. I'm basically I'm basically Andy. I know where Andy is.
Yeah, so it's like those types of situations are really bizarre because. I've been saying bizarre and weird because that's the only.
Oh, it is bizarre. Like you really don't know how it feels until it happens to you, and it's not like a bragging flex thing. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
that is weird. That is very weird.
Yeah, and like anyone who knows me in my personal life, like you and like all the homies, and they're around when it happens, they just look at me and they're like, "What was that about?" And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you see, you're Zach, right? But it's like, for me, if I hear the word Anuki in real life, something is wrong. There's an anomaly, Zach.
Yeah.
Something happened, and I need to.
There's a glitch in the Matrix, you know?
The butterfly from the butterfly from a race just flew by, and I'm like,
oh no.
Whoa. My spidey senses, Zach.
Yeah.
My spidey tenses are singling, Zach. You know?
Yeah, it really, really is the most interesting experience. And like it's only happened to me a handful of times in my life, but you know, because I do so much online, like, you know, I have the podcast, I have my own YouTube, Twitch, I do photography stuff, you know, like there's just so many different things that I spend my time doing.
I mean, it's bound to happen.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, but I never expected it to happen.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody does. Unless you're like super pretentious, you know, like, I'm gonna walk around and they're gonna know who I am.
They're gonna know exactly who I am because I'm so cool. No, you're not. You know, and I've talked to people and like, especially in like the professional scootering scene, like I've talked to a lot of people who are professional or have previously been professional riders, and you know they're just normal people. Yeah. And it's so funny because I will end up talking to these guys
Mhm.
for like hours. Like a really good example is White Trash Willie or Will Cash, and he little known fact about this dude, he is the only person who has ever been on the cover of Scooter magazine and also taken a picture that was the cover of Scooter magazine. So he,
I believe. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
yeah. So he used to be a photographer before he was an actual pro rider, and so I was sitting there talking to him about a bunch of camera stuff and everything like that, and you know, he was just super chill, and I just talked to him like he was a normal dude, and I was like, bro, you're sick, you're sick, like you're a cool dude. And like I knew that even from watching his stuff, but like, you know, treating people who are not treated like normal people very often, like a normal person, I'm sure it's very refreshing.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, did I talk about the time I saw Damian Lillard at the mall?
Oh yeah.
Did I do it here?
Maybe, I don't know. You can
Maybe. Okay. So at my mall, my humble mall, you know, I was just working. It was a Wednesday afternoon, Zach.
Right.
You know, it wasn't very big. The mall is dead. Who goes to the mall on a Wednesday afternoon, Zach?
Someone who has a lot of free time.
Someone who has a lot of free time. But apparently not, because we're just doing our thing, and then Damian Lillard and I believe his wife just walk up and they start ordering. Well, she starts ordering and he's in the background. And it takes me a second because I have to, you know, like register in my mind, that's him, right? And then I'm like, yeah, that's definitely him. I was like, hey, what's up, Dame? And he's like, what's up? And then that was about it. And then we took their order and, you know, asked some questions. I got him a honey chai, which I was not sure about because, you know, chai is a very interesting type of drink.
Right.
If you ever had chai before, you know, it's like you either like it or you don't like it. There's no in between. Although it's funny because I'm in the in between, but I feel like I am an anomaly. You either love that shit, you drink it on the daily, or it's just way too much for you. And most people, I'd say, are on the it's too much for you. You got to be a real connoisseur to like chai, you know? In my mind.
A very much a tea connoisseur.
Yes, very much so. And I consider myself a tea enthusiast. I would say, you know, I enjoy my teas.
I dabble in the tea bags.
I love tea bags. But I can't do chai. So when my coworker said, or when he asked, is a honey chai good? And my coworker goes, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm like, I half wanted to rebuttal. But yeah. Because they definitely never had it before. Or at least he never had it before. So I was, you know, I would have had the classic, you know, hey, you should probably try this or this, you know, the classic ones like a strawberry mango or a taro, you know, ones that you'd probably enjoy. But you know, it was cool. And here's the thing, right? I didn't necessarily get starstruck. I was just kind of like, you know, he's there and that's awesome. You know, I look up to him. I watch basketball all the time. I mean, there's a point in, not right now, but there was a point in time where, you know, I watch NBA like religiously.
Right.
You know, and I was there. And Dame, you know, he's the hometown hero, you know?
Yeah.
So it was really cool, but I didn't really ask for a picture or anything because you had to understand, right? Because we told all our coworkers and stuff, and we told all our friends and family, because obviously we did, right?
Yeah.
And the same question, did you get a picture? I'm like, no, we didn't get a picture. And
I have a very interesting and very specific stance on taking pictures with celebrities.
Okay.
So the way that I kind of think about it is if it ends up directly like impacting their flow of their life, like, you know, let's say, you know, they're getting their their chai tea, right? And then, you know, you're just like, hey, can I get a picture? Then, you know, you got to get out from behind the counter and do all this kind of stuff. It turns into a big old thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so the way that I think about it is if it's something that can take, you know, like 10 seconds, if it's just like, you know, you're walking by there in passing, you know, like you start chit chatting and it's like, hey, yo, can I take a quick picture with you guys? Do you mind? Like, and it's a question of like, you know, like, are you chill with this? Like, if not, that's totally fine. If it's one of those situations, then it's fine. If it's like you're trying to force yourself onto this celebrity just to get a picture with them when they're not super enthused, it's like,
Yeah, because that's how I was feeling, right? Because you had to be in the situation, right?
I understand it though.
Yeah, they're just in a mall on a Wednesday afternoon wearing normal clothes, shopping, getting bubble tea for the first time, and it's just no one at the mall, and it's just like, I don't know. I just couldn't bring myself to say, "Can I get a pic real quick?" Because it was so casual. It was so normal. Like the whole interaction was so normal. It could have like happened with any other person, you know?
Right.
So I didn't even want to just like, bring it up because like, I'm sure he trains all his life, he talks basketball, lives basketball, breathes basketball, and that's fine, I'm sure he loves basketball,
Yeah.
But there can always be a certain point, right?
Yeah.
Where you're just like, right now I'm just hanging. I'm just with my girl. We're just getting bubble tea. I've never had bubble tea before, and we're just shopping. We're just downstairs at Lid's where I probably got recognized as well, and I just went upstairs where it's not as busy. And, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna. But it was cool though. He was there. And I was like, why the hell are you in Vancouver? Of all the places.
Yeah.
But it was very fascinating. But maybe I could see that, because on a Wednesday afternoon where it's not very busy in a city where you don't live in, it's probably the ideal spot for a celebrity right now.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is really cool, and I've seen this a lot. There have been a lot of times where I've just seen like random celebrities just kind of like walking around, living their life, doing their thing, and it's not a big deal because like Southern Washington is just close enough to Portland where, it's a quick Uber ride over the bridge and you're just like, whatever. But it's far enough away from the big city lifestyle that, you can just kind of have some small town vibes going on.
Vancouver is in this area is just so removed from city life. Like it's not like rural or anything by any means. Well, I mean, if you start going more southeast then maybe, but it's like compared, like it's not like a metropolis or any. Is that the right word? Like kind of like a metro area, a city life type of area, like Portland or New York, or if you will,
Yeah.
It feels very like one big neighborhood.
Yeah, I think when, I guess to describe this in a way that might be a little bit easier to kind of picture in your mind, like just imagine like stereotypical suburban town, like it
really is.
It's not like tight knit, like everybody knows everybody, but it's to the extent of like, there's not a whole bunch of big tall skyscrapers. There's not a ton of big corporate buildings anywhere.
No,
it's mostly mom and pop shops, and obviously we have the Starbucks and the McDonald's and everything like that. But interesting little tidbit, Starbucks was started in Seattle. So I've been to the first Starbucks that was ever opened, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Oh, wow. But yeah, it's like, I imagine if I was, a big celebrity, number 4,500,674, that, wow, numbers are hard.
That's a lot of, okay, maybe not quite a billion, maybe million.
I said million.
I thought I said billion. Maybe you said million. I'm so tired, Zach.
I know. Let's say they're looking for a new place to live, to call home. Would you rather live in downtown LA, or would you rather live in somewhere like Hawkinson? And you know about Hawkinson. For those of you who don't know, Hawkinson is basically where all of like the big house on a hill type homes are. And I know that one of the YouTubers who I used to watch, who used to be really successful, he used to live up in Hawkinson. And so it's like, it's just kind of whatever. And like, the homes are nice there. You're close enough to society where you can go shopping if you need to, know, but you're far enough removed to where it's easy to just kind of be able to hide away for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to. And so, yeah, I think it's really cool when I see celebrities here, or like YouTubers here, or whatever, musicians here. Like when I went to go see Jacob Collier, he was talking, like, during his show, he was talking about how he loves coming to Seattle. Obviously it's Seattle, so it's like very, very downtowny. But even Seattle, you get away from like the Space Needle and all of that kind of stuff. Or like Pike's Place. And then, you're getting more into like suburbanish, and that's where the venue was. It was like in this little venue that, didn't have any seats anywhere. It was just like this big open room where everyone just kind of crammed in, and we were all just having a time. And it was probably the smallest show that he did. But he was like, yeah, this is like one of my favorite places to come and perform, because, it's just very small town vibey, and everyone there wants to be there. And, I've been to a ton of shows that have been like that, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a smaller venue. I'm not going to make a shit ton of money, but everyone who's there is going to have a great time, and I'm going to have a great time with them. And so that's a part of the reason why I love living around here, because it's like, it's just small town enough to where, you can have a time, but also it's not like, oh, 300 people live here and we've lived here for 10 generations.
There's a oh, fuck, what is it? There's a oh no, what was that in SpongeBob? There is so and so in this jalopy. Howdy, Mrs. K.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's old man Jenkins in this jalopy. Howdy, Mrs. K. It's like that,
Yeah.
It's like we all know everybody, and it's just like, no, it's not quite like that. It's
right.
It's much bigger than that, but it's not that bad, I pressed edge. I wanted to make sure I didn't stop. Okay, we're chilling. My fault. I don't usually have the numpad, so I'm too tactile. I'm too fidgety. I want to push the buttons a lot, so I just keep pushing the buttons. I apologize for that.
Rude.
Oh, my fault. But yeah, that was fun. And then after he ordered his drinks, he got hunted. I just watched a bunch of people hunt him down for pictures anyway, so I'm like, well, damn it. But I can see that. I can see in his eyes that it's not like he didn't want to take the picture, but it's just like, I'm just doing my own thing right now. You know what I mean? I'm
sure that he was relieved to just kind of have that moment where he was like, this is nice. Normal human to human interaction, And once you get to that level of fame, I feel like it's almost like you're not treated as like a normal human being anymore. And that, it's a double-edged sword no matter how you look at it, because you're talking about somebody who's making millions of dollars playing basketball, and when you're a kid, everyone's like, I want to be in the NBA, even though you don't sound like an 85-year-old woman when you say that. Probably.
I want to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Shut up, you're gonna be a doctor.
You're gonna be a doctor. But yeah, everybody envies them, and everyone wants to be them. And then the people who are them are just like, dude, can I just go get fucking bubble tea without being asked 3,000 times for a picture? Like, I'll bet you that mall trip probably took them an hour longer than they expected.
Yeah.
Just for the sheer fact that everyone was wanting to go and take pictures with them. And from what I can imagine, I'm sure that you were a nice sigh of relief, because
maybe hopefully I was. I'm not sure in the grand scheme of all of his experiences if I was even a big chunk, but if it helped me keep peace of mind, so hopefully it did for him. But if not, it's all good, no worries. I'm not stressing, I'm not mad about it. I mean, if anything, I would have rather have a signature or anything, but I mean, I don't know what is he gonna sign? My fucking my work shoes. The receipt.
But also, if you think about it this way, you know, that could definitely encourage people to like go back there. Because if it's just like super chill, you know, everyone's just hanging out, treating people like they should be treated, you know. I'm sure that could definitely encourage people to go back, because they're just like, you know, if I want to be treated like a normal human being, then I'll run over to the mall and grab some bubble tea, because there's some chill motherfuckers who live there.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I can't say
Did I
much
say
about
live there. I meant work there.
We live there, Zach. No, I mean, I can't say for my other coworkers, but at least for me, I was able to. I mean, because I know the coworker who was taking his order, well, his wife's order. I think it's his wife. I don't know. I could be wrong. But she was like, she didn't recognize him at first, and she goes, "Arthur, was that Damian Lillard?" I'm like, yes, it was. What do you think I said that? You think I'm gonna say that at a random person? Damian Lillard, what's up? Hey, what's up? A random person, you know. But it was funny. And then she wanted to take a picture because she was freaking out. And I'm like, well, you kind of missed your opportunity. And she goes to grab her phone. And I'm like, don't take a picture of him that's weird. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But my other coworker who was there, she was chill with it too. So it was like, yeah, it was just very casual. But I mean, not much else to say. It just kind of is what it was. It was very quick, but it was funny. That was kind of a rough day too. We were dropping a bunch of stuff and it was like spilling everywhere and it was just like sucky. So maybe it was just, you know, kind of a reverse karma type of thing. I don't know. Good thing I believe in a lot. Who knows?
Uno reverse card.
I'll just throw you a bone. Fuck it, Damian Lillard. Like, what the hell? It is cool though. It was very cool, very surreal. But I mean, it's the same thing of like, do I need a picture? Because, okay, you're a photographer. I know what I just said was blasphemy.
But I understand it.
Like, I get it 100%. Because honestly, if I would love to take a picture. I would have loved to take a picture with him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like the end all be all. Like, I don't know. It was just like, when you go to when I went to my first concert, and it was a Logic concert, I didn't take any pictures. I didn't record. I just wanted to be there.
Right.
I just wanted to experience. I wanted to have my experience, and it was a shit ton of fun. I had a time. I had a blast, and it was an experience that is just for me and just for my cousin who was, you know, who I went with. It was a moment, and it was like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing to just like record and take pictures and stuff. But, you know, it's just kind of like that idea of like, you're living life through the lens of your camera, you know? Like, are you... Like you go, Logic himself, he was in an interview and he was, I can't remember what the interview was, but he was like, he went to the Louvre, I think it was, like a museum of like super high octane art and stuff, like the museum of artwork and stuff. And then he was saying how he went there one time and he saw a bunch of people looking at this one painting, but through their phones. Like there's a bunch of people like this, you know?
Yeah. Like
this. And he was like, what? You know, like what the hell?
Yeah.
It's very weird, but it's not like I'm against it because, you know, record, you know, that's why photo books are cool, you know, like you kind of see the old pictures and you reminisce and you have the memories. So it's like a weird, like kind of a double-edged sword or something like that. Like, you know, it's, you want to experience it, but you want to take a picture, but you want you don't know, like, is that what I want to live through it by? But I don't know. It's kind of weird, but for me, it's just like, maybe I try not to think about it too much. Both are fine. If you want to take a picture, take a picture. If you want to take a video, you take a video. If you don't want to, you don't want to. Don't do it. You know?
You know, it's interesting because I have a very weird in-between opinion about it. The kind of the way that I go about going to like shows or concerts or whatever, I love taking pictures of the venue before the show starts because it's just kind of showing like what's to come, I guess. And like, again, for the Jacob Collier show, like he had a bunch of really nice instruments that were out and I was just super stoked on that. And so I took a couple of pictures of that. And then
you have your Zoomy boy?
No, I didn't bring my camera with me.
Would they even let you? I would assume so, right? That'd be fine.
I'm sure that it was fun. Like, I'm sure it was, but also at the same time, once I go into like photographer mode, then
I'm just going back.
I'm completely out of the show.
Yeah, it's fair.
And so for me, it was kind of like I was pondering the idea, and I went with Jackson and my friend Grace, and I was talking to Jackson. I was like, should I bring my camera stuff? And he was like, honestly, it's not even worth it. Because if you're going to enjoy the show, then what's the point of bringing all your camera stuff that are going to pull you out of the show? I was like, that's fair. Yeah. And so like, you know, I'll take a picture or two of the venue, and then maybe a picture of them on stage. Just because it's like, oh shit, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And you know, the main reason why I took pictures at the show that I was at with Jackson was just to show how close to the stage we were, because we were like right there.
Yeah.
And you know, that was like the best bang for the buck tickets I've ever got, because we were like right on the barrier right before the stage, and it was like $100 per ticket. And so I was like, hell yeah, dude. The second I saw that those tickets were available, I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm doing it.
See, for me, it's like, I'm too picky with my pictures, Zach. This is why I don't take pictures.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, as soon as I take a picture, Zach, I go into composition mode.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I can never take a quick picture. Nice. Thank you for that. I can never, like, whenever I, you know, I'm looking at I'm figuring out the rule of thirds. I'm thinking about the end shot, how I would color grade it if I want to. I cannot, not even with my phone.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm just, it's so instilled into my brain, even if I'm taking a picture with like a casual picture with like family or something. So I don't take selfies, Zach. One, because I don't have an Instagram or anything. I don't really, I mean, I guess I could put on Twitter, but I don't really do that. That's not really what my Twitter is focused around. Me taking selfies. What's good? Good morning. Or, hey, about to stream. Let me show you a pic of my chest. You know, I don't really do that too often. So.
You're like, let me show you my streaming setup. Or like...
oh, no, sometimes, but it's never with me.
Watching manga.
Yeah, watching... I've done it where I've taken a picture like of my setup, I suppose. But you're not like a self... We lube and switches. Yeah, you know, like I don't know. I've just taken a picture and it's fun, but yeah, I would just focus too much, like for that same reason as you did, right? Like it would just put me out of it, because even if it's like a shit shot where I'm like 50 feet away and it's like, you know, everybody's moving, I'm like, you know, and I'm like, I'm still trying to, you know, I'm getting in that mode,
yeah,
because I can't help it. But that's me personally. But you know, that's fine. Speaking of which, I do want to get more into taking for tags, because like, you know, yeah,
yes,
yeah, okay,
do it.
I know, because I got the Sigma, Zach, and I bought it for video, but you know, so keyboard giveaway, by the way, I'm doing one. And by the time you're watching this, it should still be live. It'll end on the 31st. So still got time. I checked my wrist like I had a watch, Zach.
Ah, yes, it's half past a key.
And even if I had a watch, Zach, it wouldn't even tell me the date. So it wouldn't really help.
You're like, yes,
it is Thursday, probably.
It is, 12 o'clock on a day that I don't know.
Ah, yes, 12/37/1934. And doing a keyboard giveaway for this keyboard right here. Right here. Look. Oh, it sounds fantastic. So if you'd like to enter, feel free. It's open. Anybody can do it. And I took the pictures. Yeah. For the tweet that I did. Hey, giveaway. And I put an asterisk on giveaway, because here's a funny thing, Zach, that I didn't think about until I did it. I started, tweeting that I was hinting doing a giveaway soon, right? And then all of a sudden, I started getting people following me who only retweet giveaways and like giveaway and share giveaways and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, I forgot this is Twitter and there are bots. And that scared me, because I was like, well, what's going to happen? Because, okay, once upon a time ago, before I even did any of this, before I even had a Twitter, I had a Twitter before I used Twitter for this reason, for, the COD knitting stuff. I was that too. I did it for giveaways because, for giveaways, oftentimes you needed a Twitter, right? Yeah. Or you needed Instagram. I tagged you on Instagram the other day for a keycap giveaway.
Right.
I don't use Instagram. I'm one of them, Zach. I'm motherfuckers. Motherfuckers be retweeting giveaways, Zach. That's me. I'm motherfuckers.
Yep.
That's me.
I'm one of them.
I'm one of them for Instagram at least. Except that's the first time I've done it. But I might do that more often because this keycap set that I'm trying to get, they predominantly use Instagram. So you might be tagged more often. Sorry, Zach.
I mean, the funny thing is that I just saw it and I was like, wow. Those are kind of sick though. And then I just moved on with my life.
I know, it's usually how it goes. But yeah, that's besides the point. So I see these accounts, right? And I'm like, oh shit. Because like some of them, they're definitely bots. 100%. Like it's super obvious that they're bots.
Mm-hmm.
Just by the way they act. I've been on Twitter, Zach, you know, and I live in 2022. Right. I can see a bot. I like to consider myself pretty literate when it comes to the technological things. So I'm like, okay, all right, what do we do now? So I was considering maybe holding it on my Twitch, and you have to be there in my Twitch, and you would have to like maybe say like I think there's a way where you say a key phrase or something in the chat and you get entered in like a giveaway type thing. I've seen something along the lines of this. Mm-hmm. So I was pondering that idea, but then I decided, no, I'm just gonna do it on Twitter. But how would I do it? Well, I know how bots operate. They operate on keywords. So what if I just like, I don't know, just see what happens. Let me just add an asterisk in giveaway where the I is. So it'd be G asterisk voy. I don't know. That's something stupid like that. And try to avoid as many keywords as possible. I would have to have the necessary ones, obviously, like enter to win and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or I think I didn't even say win. I redacted that. So just retweet and follow to enter or whatever. I was skeptical on enter, but I tried it. You know, I tried to form it. I spent way too long in this tweet, Zach, just making sure that it was not a stereotypical giveaway tweet. I mean, it still kind of was, but it was not like a copy and paste thing where a bot can just sweep through it and grab it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of was, and some of them did, but it helped. I barely saw any retweeters that were bots. And there were some who only retweeted giveaways, but I checked their page and they were just people. Guy like me, Zach, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Guy like me. So I was like, all right, cool. It kind of worked. I have a couple that I'm skeptical on, but I know for a fact that some of them, that a handful of them that I know are bots did not retweet this giveaway that followed me prior. So I'm like, okay, safe-ish. You know, and the giveaways are doing pretty well so far. It's only been a couple of days and I have like 80 or so, you know, entries. So that's fantastic. People want the docs, Zach. It's a nice keyboard. I really like this keyboard. So I'm happy that
I really wish I was on this camera because I just kind of reached across and I was like,
bonk. Yeah, I know. It's a good keyboard. So I'm glad. But anyways, I took the product shots. Because I was like, yeah.
And you sent me them, and they look fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The first, you didn't see, I don't know if you saw the first one. I did it on my desk, and honestly, it was not the greatest. Like, it was, at that point, that was the last picture of the shoot, and I was like, I don't know if I even want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways, because I feel like I should have one on the desk. Mm-hmm. And then you know, let me pull it up. I feel like this is a good moment to pull it. It's not plugged in. I unplugged my keyboard, Zach. That's unfortunate. Okay. But I took the picture. And it was a lot of fun. I had a light, and it was like I was too lazy to put it on a tripod or a lighting stand, or even pull literally one of these out of the room that we're using for the lighting the set. So I had one of the big boy light, the big boy key light that I bought, and I was just like, I took the picture like this, or I had my camera like this, and I was holding the light like this. And I was like, yep, no, I was like super outstretched, and I was like this. I was like, oh, yep. And I could feel the carpal tunnel from all lubing the switches and stuff that I've been doing start to kick in. I was like, oh, fuck. But I did it, Zach, for the pictures, Zach. For the content, I'll do anything, Zach.
For the content,
we do it all.
We do it all.
It's all good. Let me pull it up really quick. But it was a lot of fun. And it was just, again, I think I talked about it before, but this is the first time, or I try a lot to, like, how do I say? I try a lot to, how do I say? Oh, find more excuses to take pictures with my camera. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just felt like I hit something.
Oh, you hit this.
Oh, okay, cool.
I try and find more excuses because I don't take a lot of pictures with my camera that I bought, you know, and I bought the Sigma 16, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I just don't use it very often. So I was like, I need to use it more often because I bought it for video mostly. But I mean, I really want to take more pictures. So I decided to take these. And these are the most product shots I've ever taken. Like this is straight up like product listing shots.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of this shot right here. I love it. I love this shot. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy. So yeah, it's free. All you have to do is retweet and follow me. If you want to enter, it's fine. But yeah, I took these pictures. Look at this top down shot, Zach. Look at that.
Beautiful top down.
My arms hurt so bad doing this. You don't understand the contorting I had to do. I think I had to do one of these.
Arthur, I've taken product shots before.
Yeah,
so
it's gnarly. It's gnarly. So yeah,
You know.
this is a lot of fun. I really like the one side, like the light on one side, and it casts a shadow, like a lateral shadow.
Yeah.
Like how the shadow is to the left instead of like having two lights.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this look. I don't know why.
I mean, it helps to make it so that it's not like blown out or anything. Like that.
Well, okay, so it was pretty blown out. I messed with it a lot, and I had a lot of fun messing with it in Photoshop and Lightroom because it's been a while since I touched it.
But also, something that is really, really cool about working with raw images, especially, is you can pull a lot of information from those pictures.
Oh yeah, working on raw is beautiful.
It's so
magical.
Nice. It's like it's almost wizardry, the amount of stuff that you can pull from an image when it's shot raw.
Yeah.
And like obviously I could talk about this all day because this is what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Oh yeah.
But you know, shooting on the Canon, what is it? M6 Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
Like even something like that. It is so beneficial to just have that information at your disposal.
Oh yeah.
Because even with this picture with you can pull the colors, you can make it so that the white is a little bit more muted so that you can see the individual details of each of the keys.
Oh yeah.
And like there's just so much manipulation that you can do with these pictures that
Oh, Zach, do you want to take a guess on what I've done to this picture? Based on what you know of my setup, you want to take a guess of what I've done?
There's so many things that just popped into my head.
It's a lot more simpler than you probably think.
I mean, you did a color correction, obviously.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
I don't know. It's hard to tell from here.
Yeah, it's true. The monitor is pretty far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this all got masked out.
Oh, that's so smart.
There was a figure here because I had the whole set and it looked cool, but then as I was framing it and I was zooming in and stuff, it kind of just started distracting.
Yeah.
So I masked it out, and luckily it was super dark, so I just used black and I feathered it and it was perfect. I blurred this out, not very elegantly. I probably should have done more of a tilt, because the blur starts here, not here, so it doesn't really make sense. So I maybe should have tilted here. This was my Millen figure that you gave me.
Yeah. But
it was only her legs, and it was just over here, so I content awared her out.
I'm sure it was really easy to content aware because it was just black.
This one I kind of forgot to do very much. I wanted to, pull these spots out, my gamer battle scars, but I totally forgot. Again, this was the last shot. For this one, this was just destroyed right this corner.
Oh yeah,
absolutely bright as hell, and I was like, oh fuck. So just a little mask job, kick that exposure, match it with this, perfect. The table ends here, like this, so that's content aware.
Oh yeah.
Same with this. The table ends here.
Oh wow.
And here. So that's content aware. Desaturated this over here, kept this saturation. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, I
mean, it's not pretty, because now that I've said it, right? And I've said before, I hate doing that.
Right.
I like to just leave it in the air. But I mean, we're looking at the picture. We're having fun right now, it's all good.
Yeah, and I mean, also, you're talking to a photographer, so I'm sure I could have figured it out eventually. Like, I'm sure even with like the lightest, most feathered Brush, I mean, I'm sure I would have been able to figure it out eventually.
I mean, sure, right.
And if I looked at it with a magnifying glass, I'm sure I'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, the nice thing is that you can look at this picture, all three of these pictures, and be like, this is some quality pictures.
Yeah.
And you can tell that you put a lot of time and effort into making them look good. Which
I did.
I mean, you know, they do look good. And the second you send them to me, I was like, oh,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of dings and scuffs on this little table. This is like my mom's little mini, like, movable table thing.
Right.
It's like on wheels and stuff. And it's pretty convenient. I used it before once upon a time ago. But it's very old. A lot of dings and cuts and scratches and stuff. So obviously those are band-aided away. So yeah, a lot of fun. I played with the idea of just full on sending just this black platform.
Yeah.
But it starts to get hard because when you have a shot like this, right? It's in a 3D space. So even if I content aware here and content aware there, when you content aware, it becomes like 2D.
Yeah.
So this is no longer like a plane, if that makes sense. It just kind of looks, it will look artificial. Unless I play with it like a lot, which I don't have very much experience on. I probably could make it look good after I play around with it more and learn more. But it was taking too long, and I was honestly editing these photos like probably 30 minutes before I tweeted this. So, you know, yeah. But it was fun. Mainly the color grading. This is probably one of my favorite shots I've ever taken. The color grading is so simple, but I love it so much. I told you, I love just low contrast. I mean, I add more contrast, but I raise the black level. I love raising the black level. It's my favorite thing. It's a very cinematic thing to do. A very videographer thing to do. But it looks so fucking beautiful. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
I mean, you know, I didn't
do it for this one, obviously, but you know.
It's okay. I look at all of these pictures and, you know, like you explaining all the stuff that you did and then looking at the pictures, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Like, it makes sense how you got to the end result. But looking at it without any context, you know, it's hard to kind of pick out all of the things that you did.
Well, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of editing a picture, editing a video. You're not really supposed to be able to point it out. You're supposed to mask it super well.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, I just knowing from like the experience of taking a lot of pictures and doing a lot of product photography-esque stuff, I know that it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And
so I know the kind of trials and tribulations that you're going to have to go through to get to pictures like this.
Well, I haven't done it very often yet, so it was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
So it was very fun to try to figure it all out and move from Photoshop to Lightroom to Photoshop to Lightroom and, you know, try and make it work. You know, it wasn't not the prettiest do-up job, but not bad for a, you know, a beginner, an amateur.
Yeah, I think you played it off well.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I do want to, like, I want to take more photos, but I just don't do it. You know, it's just, I don't leave my house, Zach, you know, so there's no reason for me to take a lot of photos. So I don't know, maybe I take more stills, I suppose. Maybe.
I mean, you know,
I'm also really busy, so, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. You could also, I mean, I've just randomly taken photos of you for miscellaneous reasons.
Yeah.
And so like
natural shooting.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, if you wanted to just run around and try your hand at like, you know, portrait style photos or anything like that, or just like candids of me being a dumbass, I mean, you know, I'm always down for that. But yeah, man, I mean, the thing that I find the coolest about seeing stills that you take is that you, like, I can see that you know the fundamentals really well, and like you understand the idea of like composition, lighting, you know, the proper amount of editing that should go into a picture so that it still looks organic, you know. It's just, you know, you kind of can't be bothered to shoot stills.
I'm here for the end result, Zach. You can tell I'm a post-production guy at heart, you know.
Yeah. I can tell. And so, you know, whenever you're like, oh yeah, you know, I was just dicking around taking pictures, and like the Shuvi figure.
Oh, that picture.
Her.
Yeah, of her. That was
inside of the computer.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
I still haven't edited that PC build.
Oh my God.
It's been like a year and a half now or something like that, I think.
I think it was like right when we started the podcast.
I think so, honestly.
Like when we started filming. So like, yeah.
Yeah, it hadn't even, we hadn't even aired the first episode yet, I remember. Because we had talked about how, oh yeah, we'll do, or that's going to be a project for later. And then it's going to be so poorly timed. That's so funny.
We are now going to take you back in time.
Back in time. I mean, I played with the idea of potentially like, because I told you, like, I don't like bringing up time. I don't like bringing up time frames. It removes, it adds the fourth wall breaking. You don't need that in storytelling, you know, unless you're Deadpool. So you find ways to avoid that at all costs, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't, in Spider No Way Home, right? Mm-hmm. Or no, better example, Justice League, the original versus the Snyder's cut, right? Mm-hmm. It was just reused footage, I think. And I don't think maybe there's some reshot, I think, but a lot of it was just original footage. And you're using the same footage.
Yeah.
And he just made it fucking way better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And, or even like in No Way Home, I know for some shots like, I cannot remember his name. I'm sorry. I'm a bad fan. Sandman.
Yeah.
When he was in, spoiler. When he got cured, and he had the shot of this, doing this or whatever, you know, that was just from Spider-Man 2. Like that was the same shot.
Yeah.
Except just recomposited. And then same with Lizard Bro Man. Yeah. That was also from Amazing Spider-Man. You know? Mm-hmm. You kind of find ways to make it work. And I've been watching Corridor? Yeah, I've been watching them a lot recently. I don't know why I never subscribed. I always knew of them. And it should be down my aisle, right? You know? Down my alley. So I got into them a lot and got a lot more insight and a lot more of just like, as I explained before, I haven't been editing a lot, but I've been learning. Yeah. I've been learning principles. I've been learning basics. I've been learning ideas rather than like, not necessarily how to do effects, but effects and when they're applied and how they affect the, product. What is their purpose? Right. That's what I'm learning right now.
Yeah, and I think having like a general understanding of the fundamentals of VFX, especially as someone who spends a lot of time doing editing things and like that was a horrible way to explain that, but like doing like editing and doing post-production and all of those types of things, like if you have a fundamental understanding of VFX, then even when you're doing like pre-production and the production, you can have the context of this is how I want this to look, which means I need to have the camera move a certain way, or I need the composition to be a certain way so that it would be easier after the fact if I was to do VFX. Yeah. Even if you don't, you know, like even if you end up not doing any of that kind of stuff, it's still important.
Well, the best directors and producers understand that idea of like of what you can and can't do based off of timelines, restraints, deadlines, that type of thing, right?
Right.
The best directors and producers isn't going to be like, okay, deadline is in a week. Hey, can you do this? Excuse me? You know, like
make fucking excuse me?
Like, huh? You know, like the best producers and the best directors understand, even if they don't know how to do it necessarily, they understand the process. They understand what needs to happen. They understand who needs to talk to who, and then they can make up something beautiful. And we've seen that. And if you don't, then we haven't seen those.
Yeah.
Because they were shit.
That's fair. Yeah, it's really cool, especially with the Corridor crew, like the way that they make it digestible for you to understand. And then they kind of go into moments of just jargon.
I mean, yeah, but even when they throw the jargon out, it's in a way where you can, like, they're explaining it, and they're maybe not necessarily what the jargon means, but what the jargon means in that context of what it could mean, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, even if you don't know what the jargon means, you could probably assess what is happening, even without knowing it. So that's they do a great job at depicting that. So it's a fantastic channel. You have a lot of subscribers. You will probably know it. You probably have been recommended to it. You know, and it's like legit, like the video is probably in your recommendeds no matter who you are. Like that's the type of content they make. So give it a watch. You know, it's fun. It's entertaining. It's what's the word? Educational in its own way. You know. So those are the type of things I've been watching. So that's why when I can probably do things like this, right, where I can just take the design principles that I know and kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a photographer. I'm not close. I'm a videographer at heart. And before that, I'm an editor, so I'm not even a videographer. But I can take what I know and what I understand and apply it, you know?
Right.
And thankfully, what I do goes hand in hand with this.
Mm-hmm.
Not this fucking coding bullshit that my school tried to teach me.
Right.
I don't know that shit, Zach. Sorry, I was lashing out. I apologize. So a little bit came out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of resentment towards stupid fucking coding class. Yeah, and
you need to know robotics if you want to use After Effects. No, I don't.
You need to have a PhD in physics to understand how things move in a video. Motherfucker, no, I don't. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Well, you do learn a lot of physics in like video effects because you need to learn that, right? That's what they explain. But you kind of figure that out. A lot of video effects is self-taught, Zach. Honestly,
dude, okay.
Self-taught, taught, and learning from your peers, not school, Zach. Not school. You go to school if you think it's important that it's going to help you. Otherwise, you get into the space and you get the experience, and then you talk with the people and you do the things and the stuff and with your peers.
So here's something that I just kind of want to briefly talk about as far as like VFX goes. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, if I mean, obviously, if you're doing VFX, you know, you're a smart person. Mm-hmm. You understand how doing the life things work. And so if it looks weird, then something is probably wrong. Mm-hmm. And so if you know how to fix it, if something looks jank, like let's say if you bounced a ball and it just stayed in the same shape and it just went, meh. Oh God.
Nice.
You know, if it just went, meh, and then something is wrong. Right. You know, you have to kind of understand how to manipulate things to turn it into something that you want. But you know, it was really interesting. I went on like a YouTube rabbit hole and I ended up watching a bunch of videos on like early VFX in like, you know, the 70s, 80s and 90s. And it was so fascinating to just kind of see how it evolved, how it changed, how we were able to get to the point to where things were looking more real. And we were getting to the point to where we are now, where you can have entire like human beings that are literally made from a computer, but it's based off of a person. A lot of the time,
and it looks way too like Infinity War, Zach?
Thanos?
No, it's the entire like ending fight was basically just CG, you know?
Yeah.
Like I saw a lot of like they did it in Corridor as well. They got to talk with the Avengers VFX teams and stuff, right? Which is awesome. And yeah, there's like a lot of compositing, a lot of CG, and like a lot of face replacements, and a lot like it's kind of had to be what it is. And I watched Infinity War, and I was like, this is fucking sick. Yeah. You know, or Endgame rather, you know, this is fucking sick. This is crazy.
Yeah, it definitely gets really, really cool when you understand. Like I understand that Thanos is not a real person, right? But you understand the amount of effort that went into him even existing on the big screen, and the fact that they were able to make it so that he had pores on his face, you know, and everything,
and they
like
stretch like a normal human being,
right? And so when when you look at all of the nitty gritty details of how all of this stuff works, it doesn't necessarily take you out of it. It gives you a greater appreciation for the people who did that stuff. You know, like you look at all of the VFX that are being done in Marvel, and you know, the fact that they're able to create characters like Thanos that does not exist in real life, or those giant fucking snake things that had like the shields on their, you know, in
the thing,
the thing, you know, you know, that thing. I don't know how the fuck else to explain it.
I don't know either. Don't worry.
You know, those don't exist. They had to create them, but they also had to give them at least an amount of realism to where you feel like if they did exist, this is how they would interact with the world. And the same thing with Thanos. And I think they did an amazing job of doing that because, you know, Thanos was what, like 12 feet tall, 13 feet tall. And he was interacting with people who were average human height. And so, you know, it was kind of funny. I saw some behind the scenes stuff. Josh Brolin?
I think I cannot remember.
I don't know. If I butchered his name, I'm really sorry. Marvel fans, don't come at me. But he had, like, when he was acting.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there in the scenes interacting with the different characters. But it was really funny. He had like a little backpack on.
Yeah, the pole.
With a head on a stick, a Thanos head on a stick. And that was just super funny to see.
Yeah, well, you need that. You know, you have to have the you got to see it. And he was like kind of doing the fighting motion because he had the mocap suits and he was doing the motions and that can be adjusted. Very cool. But it's like, it's CG, yes, and you understand it's CG, but it's like it has to be done so well where it doesn't take you out of the movie. Right. You know, I go to a movie. I'm an editor, Zach. I do the After Effects things here and there. Obviously, they do other stuff, you know, but I'm very versed in seeing things that are effects. And I never think about it because I don't want to. I'm here for the movie. I'm here to experience the storytelling and the development and the characters, the action, the romance, whatever the fuck it is. I'm here for it.
Right.
And if you do something that takes me out of it, then there's the problem.
Yeah. Because
I'm not trying to see it, you know? Right. So that's the role of, you know, the entire post-production team. You know, the production team in general, right? But the entire team, everybody, is the role. That's what you're supposed to do. So I don't know where we were going with this. I mean, I cannot remember the original point, but I remember we were trying to make a point, but I think it was to mask the editing thing, right? Something along the lines. Or to make it real. You don't think about it. Immersion.
Yeah. Like if you break the immersion, then you obviously are not doing something right. And oh, it was about the picture. So
sure.
So with the picture, you know, you're sitting there looking at it from the perspective of, wow, that's a really nice picture. But if you were to kind of like go in and try to like pick apart all of the things that you did and all the different color corrections and everything like that, then you know it can kind of ruin the immersion. But at the same time, even with you telling me all of the things that you did and me knowing that exists, that doesn't make me appreciate the pictures any less, you know? And like, you know, I understand that there are certain things that are just completely unavoidable. And like with the middle picture, you know, obviously the little buttons blown out, but I can't even imagine where you started with that.
Yeah. It was a whole fucking corner.
Yeah. You know, it's like, that's okay because I mean, you know, shit happens, but you know,
it didn't look like that in the viewfinder. I'll tell you what.
God. But yeah, it's just really satisfying. I guess it's really satisfying for me just for the sheer fact that, you know, I like as a photographer looking at the way that you view post-production on stills, it's very fascinating. And you know, coming from somebody who only really edits stills at this point, you know, I look at it a different way, but we would still kind of end up at a similar end result, which is really cool. But yeah, I don't know how we got here. I've just been talking.
I don't either.
But
but yeah, Enter the giveaway if you'd like to.
Yeah. Woo.
It's a great. Everybody can do it. Everybody
It's
can
a
do
great.
It's a great. Yes.
It has knob.
It does have knob. You're adjusting the knob
It's
and
not,
adjusting the volume, Zach.
well, there
Is no volume.
They don't hear the volume.
They don't hear I mean, there is no volume happening anyways. I did toy with the idea of
Excuse me.
I did toy with the idea of having background music, but I don't know. Maybe we should make it background music. Let's compile a background music, Zach.
I think it would be really funny if we made a video of us just out of context. I wanna edit one of those together and put it on my channel. I think that would be really funny.
You can I still have all the original files. I mean,
oh god. I don't know if I want to deal with all of that footage.
I'll tell you what, Zach, I'm not. Well, I guess I will have to because I have to make another trailer soon because it's been a while since we're overdue for a trailer, you know?
Yeah.
I would like to make a new one, so, you know. So I'm going to have to, but I mean, I don't have to do it as much. Like, I just need to pick and choose my favorite parts, look in the waveforms, see where we peak, and then it's probably where we're laughing.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll be fine.
Or us screaming at things.
Or us screaming, you know.
Yeah.
But yes, we need to watch anime again, Zach.
We do.
We do.
Shit.
We're so overdue for it. We need to. You know what we need to? We need to watch Weathering with you. The sequel to Kimi no Na wa. Well, not the sequel, but of Mikoto Shinkai, the director, the same guy.
Mm.
We need to do it. Fuck it, let's do it at some point soon.
Yes.
Let's do it next week.
Yes.
We're doing it next week no matter what. I'll be up no matter what. We'll do it in the 9 in the mornings, 5 in the morning, Zach. Fuck it. Maybe not, but you know.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Yeah, never mind. We're doing it. Fuck it. No. But yeah, we need to watch it because I want to watch it, but I keep forgetting to watch it, and I want to watch it with you. But even if I wanted to ditch you, I keep forgetting to watch it myself.
Yeah,
I need to finish Violet Evergarden before Netflix takes away my shared password privileges. I want to it's a Silent Voice. I want you to watch a Silent Voice so bad because you've got a taste for Kyoto Annie now.
Yeah.
With Violet Evergarden, like I said, Sargoise, you know. We got to do that. We got to do a lot of things, but they're all sad boy shit, so I feel bad.
Dude, I finished Violet Evergarden. I finished the original series. I haven't watched any of like the movies.
I have not either,
or anything like that. So I think it's a good thing that I've been putting it off because then we could watch that stuff together because from what I've heard, it's really, really good. And if it's anything like the show, it's really fucking good.
I know.
So,
okay, Zach, I know we want to watch it together, but I have to watch Violet Evergarden by myself because I want to cry like a little bitch.
I cried like a little bitch.
I cried like a little bitch. I can't do it when it's with you, Zach. Well, I can, but I want to be a little pussy bitch, Zach. Like a little in the corner fetal position, questioning my life type shit. I can't do that when I'm in a Discord call with the homie.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we will watch Weathering with you in a Silent Voice together.
Yes.
That'll be good. It's a movie experience. But yeah. Have you been watching anything else? Are you still watching One Punch Man?
I just have been way too busy to watch anime right now.
Good. I know Jackson started watching Sword Art Online. He told me that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no fucking shit. No way. Of all things to watch. I remember he DM'd me on Instagram because for some reason he DMs me on Instagram. It's all good and fine. Actually, no, it might have been on text. I can't remember.
Was it a meme?
Yeah, he usually sends me memes on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Usually about anime or computers. But maybe he texted me. I cannot remember. But he was like, "Hey, Arthur, I broke the flowchart." I'm like, "Fuck, was it? What happened? What did you do?" He's like, "No, it's not that. I started watching Sword Art Online." I'm like, "No fucking shit. What? How the hell? Where did you get here?" And I'm glad because, as I said, Sword Art Online has a bad rep for no damn reason, Zach. For no damn reason.
I mean, I don't really know because I don't know.
Exactly. You don't need to know because there's no damn reason. It's just a fun show with a lot of action and this idea of virtual reality that we all wish existed, except the part where when you enter the world, you die in real life when you die in the game. That part is probably not as ideal.
Right. Getting some Angel Beats vibes for some reason. Angel Beats was so
good. You get revived.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's a good show. I enjoy it. It's very long, but I'm happy that he's starting it. He's going to be starting SAO2 soon. I talked with him a while ago, and I told him where he could watch it. He watched on Crunchyroll. But SAO2 is my favorite. Big thing. I'm not going to... I mean, if you want to watch it, you can watch it. I want you to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, though. Like, really badly. even before you watch Sword Art Online, I want you to watch Jujutsu Kaisen so bad, just so we can watch. I can rewatch the movie with you, and we can fucking go nuts.
All right.
I'm not gonna, again, like I said in that episode where I was jerking it off, I'm not gonna like push it onto you.
But you make me want to watch it.
I know. I'm not doing a good job. I'm like, I'm being a massive hypocrite right now.
No, dude, honestly, you're not telling me anything about the show other than the fact that it's really cool. And like, I feel like I've gotten to the point now where I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
So if you're like, this show's really fucking good, and then I watch it and it's really fucking good, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. And like with especially with Angel Beats, because I knew literally nothing about it other than when you were talking about it. And I was just like bored and wanted to watch anime. And I decided.
And you chose Angel Beats.
Well, that's because I didn't know any better. And so, of course, I ended up binge watching it in 2 days. And I was like, wow, that was really good. I'm going to go cry. But yeah,
that made me cry just singing that, Zach. Because I still remember. It still hurts.
It's always going to hurt.
It still hurts, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
I cry every time.
I cry every time, Zach.
I think it sucks because we haven't set up a good way to end the episode, but I think we're kind of at that point.
Oh, are we at that point? All right.
Yeah.
We'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen. That'd be super fun. We'll watch anime again. That'd be super fun. If you don't watch Jujutsu Kaisen, we're going to watch. Oh, I'm not going to. We're going to watch an anime movie next week.
Okay.
We're going to.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
Okay.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Just do it.
Don't let your dreams be memes.
Don't let your memes be dreams. But fuck, I don't know. Just go in the description and click all the links. That's all cool. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff that you guys all know about already. Oh yeah, by the way, hope you enjoyed the G Fuel. I mean, use code North, but this time I used my code Zico, which is from my boy Zico. Shout out to Dino Gang. My boy got affiliated by them not too long ago, so congratulations. And I used his code for your thing. Use creator codes. It helps a lot. Do it.
You normally ask me if I have anything to say, and you just kind of didn't.
Do you have anything to say, Zach?
Be good people. I love your face. Enjoy life.
I hit all my talking points. I'm happy.
I'm happy too. I don't have any talking points. That's why it's been a fucking mess. But yeah, I love your face.
Goodbye.